Welcome to Tom Time, episode 25. Today, we'll talk about the human side of legal transformation. My name is Tom Pfennig, and I'm glad you tuned in. Something sits beneath almost every conversation about AI, legal technology, and digital transformation. Not the tech tools, not the processes, not the budgets. Our human psychology facing the change. While technology changes our profession, psychology determines who thrives. Over the past years, I've had countless conversations across the world. One sentence keeps up appearing in almost every of those conversations in different forms. Quote, "I don't know if I will still be relevant in 2 years." Most people do not say this exactly that way. They say, hey, AI hallucinates. Clients will not trust AI. The legal profession is different. We have seen other hype cycles before. This one will come and go as well. And to some degree, these points are valid. But very often, there is something human baked into these comments. And that is fear. Fear of losing control. Fear of losing status. Fear of losing identity. And that is where the real transformation challenge actually begins. Because one of the biggest threats to our thinking is not AI itself. It is the story we tell ourselves about AI and how it impacts us. Law, for example, has always rewarded certainty, expertise, control, authority. For decades, professional identity was built around knowing the answer others did not have, being the trusted expert, the person with sound judgment, the person clients and people rely upon, having the status and the authority in this special field. But AI challenges this. It changes what expertise looks like these days. And so the question becomes, who am I? If AI can perform my work that once defined my professional value. That is not a technology problem, that is a psychological one. In what's called acceptance and commitment therapy, in short ACT, there is a concept called cognitive fusion. It means we become so attached to a thought that we mistake it for reality. For example, quote, AI will destroy my profession, unquote. When we are fused with that thought, we treat it as an actual fact, and we then react highly emotionally to it. We start defending, we start resisting, we start dismissing, and actually, ultimately, we are avoiding that thought and the consequences of it. But there is another way of handling this very challenge. Instead of saying AI is destroying my profession, we can say, I am actually having the thought that AI is destroying my profession. That very small shift makes a huge difference because it creates distance. And that distance between a thought and reality creates freedom. This is what's called defusion. It allows us to notice our thoughts without actually being trapped by them. And in my view, this one is one of the most important leadership skills of our AI era. Metacognitive awareness. Put simply, can I think about my own thinking? Can I notice fear without letting fear make my decision? Can I observe uncertainty without avoiding the necessary change? Because transformation is always human transformation. And with AI, this time it is different from previous technologies. AI does not only change how we work, it challenges who we believe we are through our work. Historically and until today, lawyers and other professionals derived status from very specific subject matter expertise and knowledge. Tomorrow's lawyers will increasingly derive value from something much broader, asking better questions, exercising sound judgment, building trust, navigating ethical complexity, and understanding the human context and having the time to actually understand it by active listening, explaining decisions despite growing uncertainty. These are very human capabilities, and they matter more, not less, in an AI-enabled world. There's a powerful lesson from addiction science that applies here, and I'd like to give you one example. A famous musician, most of us know, once tried to quit smoking, and he realized nicotine was not the hardest habit to break and give up. His old identity was, because he was always depicted with a cigarette in his fingers. And the real question was not, how do I stop smoking? It was, who am I as a person and brand without smoking? That is actually a much deeper challenge, and lawyers face a similar one. The question is not only, can I learn using AI day in and day out? The deeper question is, who am I becoming as AI continuously changes my profession? That is where transformation becomes very, very personal. So what can we do? Let me offer you 3 simple practices. First, name the story. The next time anxiety and fear appear, do not immediately argue with both of them. Just notice them. Say, I am having the thought that I will become irrelevant because of AI. I am having the thought that clients will trust AI. I am having the thought that this change is actually very big. Naming the story weakens the grip. Second, pause before reacting to this thought. 2 seconds, 1 breath. A very short pause gives our brains a chance to regain influence over immediate emotional impulses. Transformation does not mean to not have fear or anxiety, but we should not be guided by them. Third, return to our core values. Let's ask ourselves, what kind of professional do I want to become in this new era? For me and for many in the legal profession, the answer connects deeply to values like, I want to be a person with integrity. I want to provide justice to as many people as possible. I want to be seen as a fast learner with compassion and responsibility. And yes, I am a legal technology expert, but not technology as an end in itself. Technology as a catalyst to provide better services for clients, for society, and ultimately also for the sake of justice. The future does not belong to the most technical professionals. It belongs to those who are most adaptable. The legal profession needs flexible experts, professionals who can learn, unlearn, relearn, and professionals who understand that innovation has always been a human story before it became a technological one. And that story begins in our minds. So my question for you in today's Tom Time is this. As AI reshapes legal and compliance practice, as well as other professional services, what is actually harder for you? Learning how to work with AI as a technology, or letting go of old assumptions about what it means to be working as a legal or compliance professional? Because the greatest barrier to AI adoption, as I always say, is not technology, it is our brains. At Transforming.Legal, we help organizations and you to move from hesitation to execution. And with our platform GOLT.ai, we help you find the legal tools that match your individual needs. The deeper work for us is this: helping professionals like you move from fear to activity, from resistance to action, and from the identity threat that I've just talked about to professional reinvention. That is the human side of transformation. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in to Tom Time. Let's travel the transformation journey together. Thank you for spending your time with me. We are now going to a well-deserved summer break for a few weeks, and I am personally very much looking forward to seeing you back in August. Until then, stay curious, stay optimistic, and take your destiny into your own hands, ideally with us and me as your partner. Looking forward to hearing from you, seeing you in August. Take care.